Our apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for the 45-odd minute delay. We are, as a community, sending our best wishes to the Williams family. He's a reserve grade player, Ryan. Unfortunately suffered a horrendous injury in the reserve grade final series prior to this game kicking off, hence the delays. But the BDSFA onlookers here today and those abroad, near and far, are wishing him the absolute best in what is going to be, hopefully, a wonderful and brisk recovery. It is really quite simple, ladies and gentlemen. Let's turn our attention to the football. The winner survives another day. The loser will go home. Whether it's a whimper or a bang as the door closes on someone's season today, the reality is that that door will close on someone and the campaign will become a distant memory, eventually replaced by the nostalgic regret of what could have been. The reason my words are so heinous is because of any of Marion, of Doonside, of Ponds, Workers or Creek would unquestionably be worthy winners come grand final day at the turn of the month. It's a testament to the quality of football in Blacktown that we have 5 teams that can rightfully pose a threat to the Grand Championship. So, when one goes home today, it's probably not going to be because they weren't good enough to go all the way. It'll probably be because luck wasn't on their side. That's been the case for Blacktown Workers for the last 2 seasons. As they walk out onto the pitch now, as you can see on your screens. After returning to the Premier League midway through the last decade, they survived 2 seasons of mediocrity, and they've made the finals on 4 straight occasions since then. 2 penalty shootout losses, once against the team that you're seeing walk across and shake their hands right now. Will they finally get the revenge that they want and make it into the grand finals in first grade like they so desire? Well, for Eastern Creek, speaking of 4-year spells, what a 4-year spell it's been for the little creek that could. A COVID-cancelled season where they were first, 2022 promoted, 2023 finals in First Division, and 3 minutes from a grand final appearance. Another season of giant-killing performances, and here they are, once again. While they might have finished 5th, they're into the finals once again. Now, these 2 teams, and including the ones behind us in Ponds and Doonside in the 2nd v 3rd, not quite a knockout, but it is in fact a game they want to win match. They will face the victor of this game tonight. Whoever is to progress as the victors in the game behind us, we'll keep you updated on that one. My name is Mark DePoli. Thank you for joining us here at the lovely home of Plumpton Oakhurst. It is in fact Hanna Reserve, once again home to what is going to be another fantastic final series. Undoubtedly, this is going to be a banger. Let's go through the lineups of both sides. It's technically the home game of Workers because they finished in 4th place by 2 points. Ben Dow-Keith starts in net, as he had since he came on in the match of the round as an injury replacement, and he hasn't looked back since. He will want to have a big game today because he missed in that penalty shootout 12 months ago. Right in front of him is Chris Dow-Keith in the number 5 jersey, his older brother by a couple of years. Blake Ford and Jack Edwards make their debut match of the round centre-back partnership. James Appiah is also in the defence as well, this time as a left-back. He scored the winner last week to secure 4th place up against Quakers Hill Tigers. Danny McDougall, one of the best players in the comp, sits at the base of the midfield because of course he does. In front of him is Lachlan Precious, as it has so often been this season. Brendan Mazina's there too. Tom Guthrie, their top goal scorer. Chris Ricks, one of their top goal scorers for the last 3 years. Brandon Ford scored a hat-trick against Creek the last time these 2 teams faced. Brad Ryder makes his 3rd match of the round appearance in just the last 2 months. Josh Saldana, Liam Spud Polinsky, welcome back Zedric Catley Bond, making one of his first appearances back, certainly his first in the match of the round. A late June signing he was. Welcome back. Kurt Matchett, of course, back in the fold next to Nick Johnson, who rounds at the back 5. Pumped forward, this one is towards Pius Baraji, who has scored against, of course, Workers this season already. Fresh from prospect as that ball's whipped in and into the wind, too. It was headed towards goal, and it's going to be cleared at the first time of asking by Blake Ford. To round out the midfield, Hossam Ali's next to brand new signing Alexander Murrell, who's fresh off the back of a couple of great years playing in the Hawkesbury NPL system, but when he decided that he wanted to play consistent first grade minutes, he knew that the boys from the old Mountains team, and of course the boys from the old Mount Druitt Town Rangers team of many moons ago, were going to come calling at Eastern Creek. So here he is. Murrell's got a goal to his name already as the game behind us starts as well. Braden Keating, Liam Hamilton, and of course, as we mentioned, Pius Baraji. First halt in play as adjudicated by the referee today. Of course, Kane Finlay making a 2nd consecutive match of the round appearance as the centre referee, a 6th for the season as well. What a prosperous campaign for the whistleblower it has been. So Workers with the early possession. Here is Danny McDougall, gets on the ball, has got 5 assists to his name, is so consistently a match of the round goal contributor. Jack Edwards, one of the last players to come from Riverstone to join this workers unit, has been in reserve grade for the majority of the year, but an injury, unfortunately, to Shane Prasad, a cursed word today, injury, who's going to be probably now out for the rest of the season, barring a minor miracle, has had to give way to Jack Edwards. First opportunity for Brad Ryder to get his hands around the ball. It's been a very, very long 90 minutes of warming up for the boys out there and the boys behind us as well. It's the first time that Hossam Ali's got his feet on the ball. The first match of the round that I have the pleasure of watching, where he's not playing for Doonside. Joined fresh from the Hawks this year and has been fantastic right out there in the midfield next to Murrell. It's going to be a really good combination, but it is a two-man midfield. How will they compete with the technical prowess of Bazina and Precious and Danny Mack? Speaking of Danny Mack, here is the number 6 himself. Lockie Precious picked up 3 match of the round assists in that 12-0 win versus Riverstone last season, just teetering on 13 or 14 months ago now. Of course, Mr. Consistent Joe Dunn preferred off the bench today. You might have noticed he's not in the starting lineup, but so often plays 150 circa minutes a weekend. He is so brilliant, Joe Dunn, and we'll see if he gets some time tonight. We know how good he is in the penalty shootout, of course. Went to the bottom left when these two faced off last year. There's a really strong hint of wind out there, by the way, as it looks like behind me, I think Doonside and Maury Konate has gone very, very close. So a reminder, this is in fact sudden death, people, as Tom Guthrie gets his first significant involvement in the game. Great triangles being formed. Both of these teams know that this could very well be their last day in the sun, or in fact, now that we've been delayed 45 minutes, their last night. And I don't want it to be. It's cold, it's miserable, it's windy, but it's a footballing day, so you must G up for it. Nick Johnson has really suffered through injuries a lot in the last couple of years, including picking up one in a match of the round game not so long ago. And you might remember, of course, how great his stellar rise into first grade was last year. We talked about it so often, but he actually works now 5 days a week in Port Macquarie. Can't train with the squad, but keeps himself fit when he can from Monday to Friday. Makes his way down on Saturday back into home area and back into the footballing pitch too. What an unbelievably resilient player he is. Matchett gets it under control. He welcomed a lovely child into the world this year, him and his partner. Once again, congratulations to you both. What a fantastic thing it is to still have him playing football in our prodigious Blacktown Premier League. Lovely idea, but couldn't be executed perfectly there. It's headed back in towards the mixer. That was Liam Hamilton, I do believe. In fact, it was Josh Saldana, that right wing back, has a match of their own goal to his name and a 6-1 victory over Prospect. As Benny Dalkeith, my word, he's pumped that long. And out of the sky, Spud Polinsky will see it bounce once before he gets under control of his right boot from a Prospect NPL representative. Has 4 goals to his name this year. Forgive me, he's got 2 goals to his name this year. He picked up 4 last season. That's a big tackle in on Nick Johnson from fullback to fullback. It's Dalkeith, the former Ponds man, will be playing to his best in front of his old compatriots behind him up against Doonside tonight. I wonder who he'll be supporting. Of course, a former Doonsider himself is Chris Dalkeith. Featured on the podcast this week. Did Chris O. Spoke about the lessons learned. The magic that could be made this year. It's such an exciting prospect. Oh, it looks like they should have the first goal. Ponds behind us. It's not materialised. It's a wonderful save by Matt Dudgeon, which will turn our focus back to the game in front of us as Chris Dalkeith puts it back to Jack Edwards. And they've really loved having this tall frame up in centre back. He's actually a very natural right wing back / right back, so his ability to maraud forward with the ball and be a ball carrying defender is rather good. James Appiah is quite far forward now. He's got past one. He's got past the same man again, and then he finally surrenders possession. Now he's tracking back as Saldana finds here Hossam Ali. And that's been cleared by the left boot of Spud Polinsky, who's had a torrid time with injuries and holidays this year. A mixture of the two, a realistic one. That's been cleared away a little bit awkwardly there by Spud. But anyway, we'll do as Pius Baraji puts pressure single-handedly on the back line of this Workers team. Precious will work his way out of there as Brendan Bazina welcomes back to the match of the round today. Missed one of the decisive games of the season to decide the minor premiership almost on a Wednesday night catch-up 2 weeks ago against Marion, but great to have him back. Came off injured with an ankle concern, considering they were already locked into finals, no doubt. But can we see what the former Player of the Year winner can compete with out there in the middle. He's going to get a touch inside the box. It's been cleared there. I think that was by Zedric Catley-Bond, in fact. That's been delivered in. And it's going to miss the head of Chris Wicks, who hasn't actually got on the match of the round score sheet this year, which is so unlike him. He's one of the most prominent scorers, the two wingers for Workers, particularly in years gone by, Brandon Ford and Chris Wicks, so commonly getting on the score sheet. Brandon Ford's got 6 goals and 4 assists in 8 match of the round games, including a hat-trick against this lot last time out. It wasn't in a match of the round, to be fair, but they know exactly who the number 20 is. 1 forward in defence, 1 forward on the right wing, and almost always 1 forward at least on the score sheet. So a set piece to bomb forward. It's a foot race between Liam Hamilton and James Appiah, and Junior lets it out, and it'll be a throw-in for the Black and Whites. Right by the corner flag, a chance for perhaps Eastern Creek to press. Chris Wick with his back to goal, and he's back to 1 or 2 players. That ball's been sent into the fairway next to us, tasking some of the Eastern Creek faithful to trudge their way over and get the ball back. Nobody else wants these games to be delayed any further, so they're after it in a jiffy. You can see, in fact, by that corner flag how windy it is at times. That's not always 100% of the time that windy, but when it does whip up, it is rather brisk. Ball back in play, flicked on it was, attempted by, I believe, Pius Baraji, back into the possession of Matchett. And Dal Keith steps in, almost took out his own man, Jack Edwards there. He apologises with a wave of the left arm. That's Zedric Catley-Bond back on the ball, back in the match of the round. Made one of the greatest slide tackling challenges in BDSFA live stream history in a Premier League 2 grand final back in 2022. Dal Keith has sent that square across the box, and that might actually go out for a corner. No, I think it'll just be a throw, but still a bit of a nervy moment for the ultra-experienced former 14s AYL coach. At the BDSFA, of course. The coaching unit and extended bench of Blacktown workers, you might have just been able to hear. We haven't got too much surround sound on today, forgive us, because of the ferocity of the wind today. But you might have been able to hear a younger Graham, if you recognise the voice, yelling out to his workers' boys. Long throw-in put in. We know they're good from set pieces. What about the throw-ins if you count them? Hambo Hamilton gets there first. Nick Johnson misses that. Brandon Ford is quick. So is Pius Baraji in defence. Osama Ali was there to help out as well. Nick Johnson's done really well there. The 50-year anniversary jersey is so beautiful to look at, Eastern Creek. Congratulations to you on the milestone. Forward comes Danny Macdo, trying to find one of the quickest players in the comp, but even Usain Bolt wouldn't have got to that ball first. Bradley Ryder picks it up. 3 match of the round games. 3 very impressive performances so far. Look at the defensive work rate of Chris Wicks. They love that. Such a brilliant individual, but such a brilliant system player as well. He's a coach's dream. He listens, but he's got the ambition to do things on his own sometimes. It'd be great to see him get on the score sheet tonight as well. Lucky to get that under control, but Precious, nothing comes lucky to him. Sliding challenge. He pulled out at the last moments. That's Murrell on the ball. In that 45 jersey, you should be very wary of him. Got a goal. It was an absolute peach up against big tackle came in from the game behind us, which you might have heard come through your speakers. Nice idea to find Chris Dalkeith. The 1-2 is nice, but the execution wasn't. Nick Johnson being, again, hounded on by his opposite fullback. Zedric Catley-Bond's probably not up to full match sharpness, but he's going to be required upon in the base of a back 3 tonight. Murrell on the half turn gets it eventually under control on what is a distinguishably worse pitch than the one behind us, but due to where the sun was facing when we set up the camera, we had to make sure we were facing away from it. Apologies to the entire Creek contingent who were at 6s and 7s with that decision. There's a chance for Taylor Hunter to bomb forward here. Mr. Pons himself, he's going to put it across the face of goal. It's going to be potentially a corner for Ponds here. Looks like the Ponds have the ascendancy so far in the game behind us. We'll keep you updated. Back in play here in front of us. Chris Wicks flicks it on. Tom Guthrie hasn't really got on the ball too much. Their top goal scorer this year with bang on double digits. 10 goals, 5 assists to go with a 2. 11 if you count the goal against, of course, MPL 3 opposition Fraser Park in the Australia Cup. Long throw-in again. My word, is that a lethal weapon. We're under control, says Hossam Ali, who is an adept mixed martial artist, by the way, and has exceptional control over not only his emotions, but his center of gravity and his ability to go shoulder to shoulder in any challenge. It's a real unique set of traits, Hossam Ali. They'll score in the match of the round. Hossam only makes his second full start in match of the rounds tonight, despite being in and around the team sheet for the last 4 years. He's just struggled to break the mould of that Doonside team. But he's found a new home here at the old Eastern Creek. 2 players go down. The referee's whistle is blown in favour this time of Blacktown Workers. Denny Mack hasn't on the ball too much in the last 10 minutes or so, but he's on it now, and he's distributed to his centre-backs, who are going to feed it potentially to Chris Dalkeith, who's making a run forward up this near-side touchline, which you couldn't see in frame, but I could. A big interception there, potentially by Liam Hamilton. He's Braden Keating, a goal of the week winner, of course. He's got a bunch of match of the round goal contributions to his name, including in his most recent showing away from home at Ropes, you might remember, where he found Dimi Petrados across the box. Spud Polinsky goes wide to Josh Saldana. Oh, great pass inside to find him again, but the execution just a little bit off as both sides kind of struggle to find the right ball in the final third. But it's been a really interesting tactical battle so far. The change of formations really making things quite intriguing. Just laid off short and sweet here to Braden Keating, who's had his, by far compared to last year, a far more prosperous and more regularly involved first division season. Last year was plagued by reasons for being away, such as commitments and sickness and injury, but he's made 15 starts this year, 16 total games, so he's come off the bench once. When he's fit, he starts. Apologies for that wind that's coming through. It's really whipping at the lips now. A long throw in again. 2 Workers boys rise. Where will it fall to? The Hambo involved. Appia clears. Free kick given this time for Workers again. Both games tied at 0-0 in the freezing cold wind of Oakhurst here at Hanna Reserve. Jack Edwards will bring this out of defence. Chris Dalkeith will go on his merry way. That ball was under hit for his liking. Precious receives the loose one. That's a better ball towards Dalkeith. This is an interesting move up the near side touchline. He's right near the corner flag, and Kalen Thompson, our assistant referee on that side. He lays it back here to Brandon Ford, who's got 3 goals in 2 games against this lot this year. And if you count his goal in the preliminary final of last year, which was this exact fixture, he's got 4 in 3. You might remember Eastern Creek scored inside 60 seconds when these two met in this fixture last year. Kurt Elbro, who's been playing as a goalkeeper at times this year, scored an absolute peach, finessed in from outside the box with his left foot. His stronger left foot, by the way, that is. Got a couple of goals, 1 in first grade, couple in reserve grade this year, even though he has played in between the sticks for a large majority of the season. But it was Brandon Ford who equalised that day on around the 79th, 80th minute, you might remember. Lee goes down. Out wide that goes. Doonside finding a bit of ascendancy in the game behind us too. Chris Dalkeith now moves forward. Was there a question mark being raised over a handball there? But Matchett clearly had his arms by his side, and you can tell how by his side they were because he's winded from it. So deadlocked and 0 all across both fixtures tonight. A reminder, this is sudden death. The game behind us is in fact not sudden death, but that doesn't mean it's not worth winning because you'll have an easier route to the grand final. We can see on the sideline for Workers as well, Chris Chum has come from Selling Houses Australia. He's here. getting changed into his gear, ready to come on, perhaps. He's too busy, this kid. But what a baller he is. Ooh, a prank there by Danny McDougall. The wind, as you might be able to tell by that corner flag, really making things difficult. 2 hands raised. Ball in towards right on that penalty spot. One player's gone down. On the edge of the box is Bazina. Flick towards goal! Workers hit the front. They've pipped them to the 4th place post on the final day of the season, and now they have the first goal in the final series. It's Tom Guthrie with an 11th league goal for the season. He's returned back to the club this year and provided them with some much-needed depth in the finals experience lot. And that finals experience and that experience up top, he knew exactly where to stand when the time was right. And he flicked it home, and now they're in front. It wasn't anything special. It was a cleared defensive header that fell to Bazina. He scuffed his shot, but guess who was there? The man who has been now on 11 separate occasions for this Workers side, and what an oh-so-thankful inclusion he's been on the squad list this year. Tom Guthrie 1-0. And it's all come from a set piece. And it's the set piece kings that have been undone by a dead ball against them. What drama it is. It's the Chris Chum effect. First goal of the evening. Delivered by Riverston, scored by a pond, and it's up against the creek. How many water analogies can you fit into one sentence? Dalkeith punches it forward off the forehead. Has to be careful, Jack Edwards, and he is. Gets that away for a throw-in. For the first time on this near side, we'll have a throw-in from the Eastern Creek boys. Ball in, and across the face! In a flash, in an absolute flash, Eastern Creek respond. Workers caught lacking. The bench is surprised. The defence is surprised. The scores are level. And they were not behind for long. Oh, what a couple of minutes we've had here. And there's a silence that's fallen around this ground as everybody tries and wraps their brain around what they're seeing. Because this game has just gone from what seemed to be uncrackable to cracked wide open in a matter of seconds. The 2 fresh signings for both sides. The 2 fresh strikers have got their names on the score sheet once again. Pius Baragi picks up a second match of the round goal, picks up a second goal against Workers, and picks up a 12th goal for the season. And it's the fresh signings for both clubs that have come to the front and put their names all over this early part of the tie. What a moment. Ball delivered in, cleared away, almost like it was for the opening goal of the game. That's been sent away. Liam Hamilton in a mad dash chase here with the goal scorer Pius Baragi. They're both so quick, but that was an illegal move. A little delay here. One by Appiah. Now Eastern Creek have their tails up. Wonderful move there. Can Hamilton get on the end of it? Was there a foul on the defender? There was, and play is stopped. Really well won there by Saldana to bring it down. That was Hossam Ali getting involved. The tussle was eventually won by Workers, though. That was not a whistle blown by Algate, if you heard it, although it will be now. A throw-in that will go the way of the Creek, who just never know how to say die. Long way left to go in this one, that's for sure. Still deadlocked, 0-0 in the game behind us too. Pons, Doonside as Ethan Eichen gets the ball up against Victor Lebby. What a great couple of names those are. Long throw-in again by Saldana. He's got the Blake Skur throw on him. Cleared away by Blake Ford, one of two Ford boys out there. So consecutive throw-ins, it will be down that far side. I would love to tell the players to bring the action down in front of us, but that's not the case. Blake Ford will switch it. The one-man press again of Pius Baraji as he leads them from one side of the pitch to the other. He's brought them back into this game as he has on so many occasions this season. A little scoop by Tom Guthrie, one by Matchett in the air. And one by Blake Ford, trying to find his brother. Nick Johnson was keen to it. So was Alex Murrell. Square pass from Matchett. A former All-Star representative, of course, to find Zedric Catley-Bond, who's living dangerously under the pressure of Bazina. But he's come away okay. And then one former Mountains boy sends it across field beautifully to find Saldana. He has space to drive into. Wicks tracking him back. Didn't do enough to foul him, but there was enough of a foul, I think, on the Workers' man. No, there wasn't. Yes, there was. Now on Danny Mack. It was a little bit late by Saldana, who was probably aggrieved that the ball was taken off him a little bit into his ribs. And so he retaliated, and he's lucky he hasn't been carded. In fact, he might, and now the right wing back is on a caution for the rest of what is going to be a long, long, cold evening. He doesn't want to argue it too much, the 22-year-old, or he might just be reprimanded with a second one. Kane Finlay takes no prisoners. So a Workers set piece from right on the defensive third line of their area of the pitch. Back in play we are. Jack Edwards again brings it out of defence, scoops it out wide to find Christopher Dalkeith, and forward he goes, left through the legs of their 6-year and most capped servant. Dalkeith back in, wicked ball across the face, too hot to handle for Ryder, and it's eventually been cleared away towards Saldana. Now cautioned, has to be careful as he gives it away. Doesn't want to slide in there, he thought about it for a second. Must be careful, Josh. Now just lumped forward, Appiah will be able to close this down in tandem here with Blake Ford. Although it's a bit of a poor clearance, he's been alleviated by the miscontrol of Liam Hamilton, who, speaking of Workers boys, Creek boys in their holidays, knows all about going on holidays. Missed almost all of last season, was reduced to a bench role as they headed into the finals, but he's been back to his best this year and back involved, which is what we love. If they make the grand final, I promise you we'll get him on the podcast. Lovely triangles being formed here. Poked through, attempted to find their right wing back who is away, and Braden Keating playing a central role, it seems, for these early parts of the game. That's a real uncharacteristic giveaway by the JB Hi-Fi connoisseur himself. Jack Edwards again being tasked with bringing it forward. Dalkeith right on the edge of that touchline. Edwards now has options either side of his 2020 vision. Past the halfway line now to find James Appiah, former Spartans representative back in his youth days. Has played around these parts for a long, long time as Appiah. Precious. Dalkeith with his left tests that of Catley Bond. One in the sky by Keating against Dalkeith. Chris, not Ben, that is. Blakeford crosses the halfway line himself. Finds Precious. Dalkeith, who's had a great game so far. And to think that around this time last year, he was in and out of the first grade team. Couldn't really find his feet in his first debut season in Workers' Colours. That's a bit overcooked there by, of all people, Danny Mack. Not been his finest hour just yet, but there is just on an hour still to go in this game, don't you forget. Plenty of time. Workers back with the ball at their feet. This time it's Dalkeith to put it square across the face. Hamilton slides in, stud showing, but won it cleanly. Living dangerously the right flank of the Creek. Dalkeith now, right on the halfway line. Joonside behind us have a corner, by the way. Dalkeith just keeping it in between his heels. Beautiful delivery out wide towards Appiah. Flick towards goal. It was by Jaden Swerer, by the way, behind us. Anyway, back to the game in front of us. Lots of running here to do for Josh Saldana, but it was in fact Blake Ford who had the edge on him and the step on him. Tight-lipped and tight-lipped and tight-knit behind us. In front of us, all the action happening. I knew there was reason to show this game. Lovely to see the many thousands of fans that have tuned in this year come and watch along. There are so many people here tonight watching along from previous games, other clubs here to tune in. Marion, of course, watching here, thinking about who they might play next week. Of course, they will play as a pot shot from distance comes in and will test the windscreen of a car behind us, probably. No, all those four-wheeled creatures are okay. But yes, all the Marion contingent are here watching along as well. They'll be facing whoever loses the 2v3 game, as was not presented in the podcast by some weird guy called Mark DePoli. That's Jack Edwards' first bad pass out from the back, which is saying something because he's been tasked with doing it so many times. Dalkeith hard on Pius Baraji, but the former prospect man strutting his stuff, but eventually three was too many to take on. Keating gets involved. Nice defensive interception by him. Hossam Ali keeps it alive, but then gives it away. Picked up there by Appiah. Saldana again has to be really, really careful. Here is Alex Mole, who's capable of scoring a bomb. Tests the pace of Pius Baraji. Ben Dalkeith coming for it. The offside flag was raised. Coach is happy though. Well, for just about 90 seconds, it was Eastern Creek who were on at least the losing side of this fixture tonight. They did not take long at all to respond. Pius Baraji and his brilliant striking instincts coming to the front once again. And we're deadlocked again as some huff and puff happens in the match behind us. There's always going to be a hotly contested one and a very physical one. Ball delivered in with that monster throw in again. This time it's by Dalkeith. It's been scooped towards the backstick. Chris Wicks. Oh my word. He was so close. Of course, he is joint tied, if you like, for the second most goals scored in a single match of the round game with 4. The record is 5 as was broken this year, but at least he holds the PL1 record. Yet to score in a match of the round this year, but boy, he came close in the most important game of the season so far. Sent away by Brad Ryder. Missed by Appiah. Picked up by Precious and McDougall, though. Dalkeith slips over the ball. There's the pitch coming to the help of the Creek. Oh, dangerous. Living. But Blake Ford comes away with it. Appiah has space. Saldana out of position. Chris Wicks is quick. Is he decisive? Can they bring him down? Not now in the box. What a great tackle by Zedric Catley-Bond. So a corner it will be. A corner is what led to the opening goal of the game for the Black and Whites. There's a chance here for Pons to find a goal, but it's been squared to Fardod Sanjikani, and a foul, and the keeper has brought the entire Pons bench into disrepute. They are not happy with that decision whatsoever. Ball back, focusing in on what's in front of us. Really good ball in. It was cleared away by the set piece. Kings shot towards goal. Consecutive corners from the same side it'll be. Everything's heating up here.
We're going to react quicker.
In the meantime, Matt Dudgeon has stayed down. Whether truly injured or not, he had to, because that ball was taken off him and Pons are about to plump it into the back of the net. Doonside survive a almighty scare. Back to Workers in Eastern Creek in front of us. It's all happening here at Hanna Reserve. Two hands raised once again. Last time that happened, it led to a goal. Really good ball in. How has no one put their head on it from either side? Well, it's gone all the way out. Look at the way it's curved out right on the edge of the 18-yard box on the opposite side that it was taken. Great ball in by Danny Mack, but you have to wonder, should the keeper have come for that one? Well, it's something to consider later. Real unhappy vibe coming out of the Pons camp right now. And whether you agree with that decision or not, if you're watching this back, understandable frustration. Because you are so close to the opening goal against your arch rivals. It must burn. It must burn. Matt Dudgeon's still down, by the way. Hopefully he's okay. It's already been a torrid day for injuries. We do not need another one. What a day for the neutral. Sit in the middle of the pitch and watch two fantastic football games. Ball delivered, and this will challenge the goalkeeper, who rises. Spud Polinsky, I think. No, it was Murrell who pumped forward. And Keith was never going to lose that battle. Long and wide. Chris Wicks after it. Saldana will always have to be careful up against the brilliant, flashy winger. Oh, a massive coming together there. I think Hossam Ali is hurt. Now it's Creek's turn to be upset with the decision. Now it's Workers' turn to be unhappy too. Hossam Ali is down. Matt Dudgeon, by the way, still down for Doonside. Real concern for the goalkeeper. So it seems, after all, the referee made the correct decision to stop play. Hossam Ali still down. So adjusting the boots and the shin pads now, back to his feet. He's a tough cookie. He'll carry on. A little talking to Brendan Mazzino happening at the moment, the number 10 from Workers. Joint Player of the Year, of course. Braden Keating, by the way, the highest ranked Player of the Year votee from that of Eastern Creek. Free kick given. Workers have just made 50 yards. Workers are not happy, of which there are many fans out there. Matt Dodgen's back to his feet, by the way. Not taking this set piece. Jaden Zwerb sends it into the night sky. Back in focus on the Creek and the Workers. So this is a really dangerous spot, because we've just seen what they can deliver in. It was a bit too overhit, and Ben Dalkeith was keen to it. But this is Matchett standing over at this time. This is a guy who got in the promotion season for Eastern Creek. 8 assists from corner kicks alone. So what about this? That's a good-looking ball in, and the header wouldn't have counted anyway because the offside flag was raised on the far side. So it's basically going to be a goal kick as we peter towards half-time. It's a game that found its highest intensity. Right around the middle of the first half. Is there a way to close it out with a goal, perhaps, for Workers? Lee, nobody there on the attacking third line for Workers, and it's allowed Eastern Creek to make their way out. They've just crossed the halfway line. Here is Liam Hamilton, who scored in the grand final, of course, in that promotion season. On his birthday, which will be coming up soon. Danny Mack, I like the idea with the execution, not quite fine-tuned just yet. Match it. Lovely pass. Alex Murrell. Second match of the round appearance. First one I have the pleasure of seeing with my own 2 eyes, and I've been very impressed. Slightly under-hit pass, though. Delivered in by Saldana. Not really known too much for his crossing, as Pons come extremely close to scoring behind us. Extremely, extremely close. Braden Keating. Brilliant outside of the boot pass. Pius Baraji went for it himself. He was clattered by Dow Keith, but legally so. Sent past the halfway line. Matchett got it with his shoulder. He's now out of position. Chris Wicks didn't play through Tom Guthrie. What's been called up here? Was there a foul on Matchett? I do believe that's the verdict. Pons really have the ascendancy in the game behind us. Ball across the face. It was cleared there by Daniel Alessi. So it was, in fact, a foul for impeding on the ability for Kurt Matchett to get on the ball freely. So Zedric Catley-Bond stands over it and plays it to the man who won the free kick. Keating was taken off him by Brandon Ford, who was not so tight-lipped, by the way, on the podcast this week. I suggest you go watch it back. Talked about his mixture between first and reserve grade this year, in the last 2 years even. Their second top goal scorer behind Tom Guthrie. He's now gone 2 behind him, but that's okay. Tom Guthrie got the goal in the quarter-final, of course, today. I'm sure we can't be too upset about that. Well, control with the side of the face of Liam Hamilton there. Murrell twisting, turning, finding Liam Polinsky. And Spud out of defence. Matchup being closed down. It's taken off in Brendan Bazina. Now closing down on goal. Ryder was lax about it and cleared it away with no issues. It was at this very ground where 12 months ago Eastern Creek thought they had scored off of kickoff to take themselves potentially into a grand final, for only to be disallowed rightly. Now it's lead to a wonderful reward and a show of great fair play at our presentation evening. But this is a haunted ground for them, as that is a foul clearly on the goalkeeper there. Chris Jalkeith isn't happy about how long it took for his brother to be alleviated by the whistle. Morrill will say he was competing for the ball, which to a degree I agree with. But in the end, when a goalkeeper is competing with both hands in the air, his midsection is unprotected. You have to always protect the goalkeeper. Glenn Zwerb, the coach of Doonside for the game behind us, by the way, really unhappy with what he's seeing so far. It looks like Pons have really got the better of them. Ball in, cleared, saved by Dudgeon, I should say. Here is Dalkeith back in play in front of us. Lovely touch there to find Bazina, but he's miscontrolled it to the former player of the year. Another former Spartan, by the way. That's a poor pass there by Hossam Ali, but he is still holding his own in the midfield, to be fair. But an impressive performance by the 2-man. Crossfield switch is very awkward. Brandon Ford gets a decisive touch. Now, can he find the final touch? He feeds it through to the former player of the year, and it was the wrong decision. Now a chance to counter-attack. Pius Baraji's offside. They don't know it yet. Now they do. Inside at 6s and 7s mentally out there. They're all angry at each other. Not sure how much you can hear. Well, I'm just feeding back what I hear. Pazina, Brandon Ford, twice in a matter of moments, not on the same wavelength. Matchett gives it back to the throw-in taker. Big press by Dale Keith. The last touch was off him. Looks like there's a real injury concern for Ethan Eichen, of all people. Really, real big concern. Lovely running here by Josh Saldana. And again, look who it is defending. It's Chris Wicks, the assassin himself. His middle name is John. Another long throw in again. Should be flicked on this time by Keating. It's up in the air. It's flicked towards goal. Anywhere will do. Easy save for Benny Dalkeith.
Yeah, Hanna, go! Go, give us one! Let's go! That's it! Well done!
Coach Danny Hinton, of course, a player just as shy as 2 years ago. And the Silver Fox commanding his team, asking for one more push until half-time. Triangles again by the Workers boys, but can they get forward? Lovely stuff. It's a foot race now. Zedric Catley-Bond, how fit are you after returning back mid-season? Lovely stuff. Puts it into the other game. Chance here for Blake Skur in the game behind us, by the way. He's going to take a pot shot towards goal. He's always going to be pulled wide from that kind of body position. Really on the cusp of half-time now. We're looking at minutes to go in what's been an entertaining game. A cold one, but a fun one. Dalkeith, is this the difference maker? In the first half, flick towards goal it was by Guthrie, who wanted a brace. Again, Guthrie involved. Wicks is there. One of the most prominent scorers in match of the rounds. Was there a handball? What a save! Eastern Creek saving, putting their bodies on the line, and it's kept them in the game. I think it was Spud Polinsky who just turned into Elastigirl. And Ponds take the lead. It's been coming. A massive moment on the cusp of half-time in the second v third showdown behind us. Dalkeith puts it back in. Flick towards goal by Brandon Ford, and he got the angle wrong. Unfortunately, though, for Doonside, it's been coming. They have not looked tip-top from what I've seen so far. 3 goals in the first 45 minutes of both these two enthralling matches. We are tied here. We've found the separator behind us. And Doonside are looking at each other, wondering what's going on. I know you can't see it, but just take my word for it. Pumped forward. Look at the watch by Kane Finlay, our referee. And in fact, that is why. No need to add on too much time. It's been a game that's been very fast-tempoed. That's because the two first-season strikers of Tom Guthrie and Pius Baraji gave us 2 goals in a matter of moments, and there were very, very shy celebrations as both teams returned to the semicircle just to continue on the fight. It's been a great game. Workers in their triangles are always aesthetically pleasing to watch. Creek and their ability to use their wings so well have been great, but they've got to use that pace that they possess through the middle, through the spine, to their advantage in this second half as legs get more and more tired. But the squad depth of both teams will certainly be tested tonight. It's going to be a fiery one. It's going to be a feisty one. It's certainly going to be a physical one. 1-1 it is. Pius Baraji got the equaliser. It was opened, of course, by Tom Guthrie. We'll see you soon. Come back in about 12 minutes. So it feels like for the first time in a long time, both teams have opted to take the full 15 minutes for their halftime break. But the referees have crossed the divide and they are making their way back towards the field of play. Workers will now be running from right to left across your screen. Eastern Creek will now be running from left to right across your screen. It's 1 goal apiece. It's 1-0 to Ponds in the game behind us. They are slightly behind us by a couple of minutes. We'll keep you updated when it feels necessary. This game opened up by Tom Guthrie, was closed up again by Pius Baraji, the 11th and 12th goal, respectively, of those two brilliant strikers' respective campaigns. And now it's Tom Guthrie, soon to be closed down again by Pius Baraji with the press, who will lead us into the second half. My name is Mark DePoli, a representative of the Blacktown District Soccer Football Association. Thank you for being here. Let's see what this sudden death second half has in store. Eastern Creek have jumped the gun. They're going to be called back. Stop your stopwatches. Ready, set, go. Danny Mack gets on the ball, one of the most talented players in the division and technically so proficient. Is he going to have a click into gear moment in this second half? You look to the big players in times of need. Saldana, touch off the chest. Eastern Creek yet to beat Workers outside of that penalty shootout, which you can debate whether that counts as a victory or not. Since they came up from the second division to the first division. 4 games, 1 draw, 3 losses. Liam Hamilton's down and really hurt, and now play is going to be stopped. Back to his feet, though. Looks like he's in a world of hurt. A collision of the shins. Appia receives the drop ball, back in play. No, Hamilton's gone back down. This is really concerning. Hammer being urged to get back to his feet. No, he's crawling now. No, this might be more serious than first thought. He's almost should be encouraging him to stay down. This is really concerning for one of the competition's most adored players. No, this looks bad. I don't think it hit him for the first 10 seconds or so. And now I think the adjective is writhing. Well, I hate to bring up the past. We've already seen what a collision of shins can do tonight when it hits the wrong part of the leg. I would absolutely hate for another night to be interrupted by another clash of shins. It is so painful. Wear your shin guards, kids, those who are watching along. An interrupted start to the second half. Liam Hamilton's doing everything he can to get back to his feet, but he's in a world of stabbing pain right now. I don't think he can really describe what he's feeling. He's trying to get back to his feet, but his body is physically telling him not to. Well, Pons and Doonside are about to kick back off. I'm going to keep you updated on what happens there in the meantime. There might be a bit of a stoppage delay here because they don't want to take Liam Hamilton off for any reason whatsoever. He's brilliant. But he's in a world of hurt. Once again, crawling back up to his feet for the first time in about 2 minutes. Fingers are crossed all around the ground. You don't want to see players go off due to stuff like this. Moving somewhat freely. Shin pad's still out of the hand. He's not walking towards the technical area. This is a great sign. As Doonside are the first ones to put on the press in the game adjacent to us. As Cambaz clears. Zoreb stands in. Neves taken off him by Blake Curry. Sends it out wide toward Maury Konate. And we're back soon to be in play now. Hamilton's going to be given a couple of minutes to just keep shaking this off, test how mobile he is or isn't. Think of Ronaldo in the 2016 final of the Euros where he gave himself a couple of minutes before he succumbed to the knee injury. Maybe Hamilton's just giving himself as much time as possible. Maybe some players on the sideline should just start considering warming up too. We're joined tonight by the presence of Matt Duff, who had to say no this season due to an injury that he suffered that was going to keep him out for pretty much the whole duration. Great to see him back tonight in support of Eastern Creek. Great to see Aidan Mantaroglu watching along in support of both of these sides in some type of way with friends on both ends. It's sent forward by the left-footed keeper, Bradley Ryder. And one in the air there by Danny Mack, and then by Brendan Mazzina. Brought under control finally by Nick Johnson, and then Keating. Well, it's come here haphazardly to Hossam Ali, a little clip and a little dink out wide towards Josh Saldana. Liam Spud Polinsky. Such a threat from set pieces. As Spud Polinsky puts his head where others wouldn't put their foot. Dal Keith. Brandon Ford struggled to work his way into this game. Some of the usual superstars of the match of the round have not had their loudest days. Is Brandon Ford about to change that? Cuts in on the stronger left as he so often does. Lovely weight on the pass, but snuffed out there by Zed Catley Bond. Lovely pass, brave pass towards Pius Baraji. Dropped in deep and then gave it away. Well, there's Liam Hamilton. Perhaps Blake Ford knew that he wasn't going to reach too far for that one. A couple of step overs by Chris Dalkeith. Ford. And will that hold up? Enough for a throw-in to concede, not the corner. Which of course led to Blacktown Workers' first goal. Their only goal as well. No in taken to the only free man that was short. Jack Edwards, who you could say was at fault for Eastern Creek's rather rapid equaliser. Wants to make amends. Throw in taken very quickly. Match it away. Comes here on the edge of the box towards Guthrie. It was Liam Hamilton who dropped in and was braver in the moment. Oh, big press here, and they come away with it through Nick Johnson, who pumps that forward towards Hamilton. Edwards in behind to win it off him. Not moving just 100% yet is Liam Hamilton. Looks like they're playing a two-man striker formation in this second half. It looks like a more deep midfield and a back four by the way of Nick Johnson, Catley Bond, and match it through the middle, and Josh Saldana as the right back rather than having a wing-back system. Dougal. And Polinsky moves back into the back three now after coming out into that midfield for temporarily. Ooh, was Wicks hit there in the box? And if so, would that count as contact in the box? Keating stepped in. Wicks is rubbing that left knee at the moment. It's inside. Smack one over the bar, but have had a better start to the second half than they did pretty much the entire first. Though in taken by Workers. Brendan Mazzina leaves it for Appiah, puts him in a spot of bother up against Hossam Ali. Cleared there by Saldana. Danny Mack finds Blake Ford. Mazzina. Oh, space. What about Murrell's pace? Mazzina was strong, used his body well. Then the 50-50 challenge renders a set piece for Workers. As Pons now try and break away. Here is Fado Sanjikani up against Jaden Swereb. The two road runners of their respective teams come together here. The Pons man has won, put it across the face of goal, and it's been cleared away. And now Doonside are doing their own breaking up the line. Bobby fouled there. Clearly it'll be a yellow card for one of two Pons players. Back in play here we are between Workers and Creek, though. It's sudden death football. It's equal at 1-1. And Blake Ford asking a lot of Appiah. He's done well. Saldana's still on a yellow, don't forget. Guthrie flicked it on to no one, though. He's the furthest player forward at all times for Workers. Once scored 2 free kicks in a game for Pons. Speak of them. Match it, sends it forward. misplaced. Unhappy with himself, though, is Kurt. Wixie flicks it over and behind his head. Big header won first by Polinsky, then by McDougall. Guthrie missed the first ball. Catley Bonds sent that backwards. Guthrie puts it out of the sky, then nutmegs his man, but concedes the throw surely. He does, as Pons almost concedes to Doonside. It was a game of inches just there. Keating asking a lot of Liam Hamilton. Blake forward, sends that towards the scissor lift that we're on. Saldana's going to leave it for his captain, Spud Polinsky. Blake forward, throw in. So a monster throw-in about to come in. You can imagine. As Scott Jackson wins a header out of the sky to save Pons. Now the throw-in comes from Polinsky. He want to be there in the box. Good header away it was by Jack Edwards, I do believe. And then Lachlan Precious puts it out for a throw. Thrown again by Spud Polinsky. It's a very good ball. It's a strike of Hail Mary quality.
Dictate, Tommy, dictate. Cut it off.
Clipped forward in the general direction of where Pius Baraji might have been running, but it was snuffed out early. Dal Keith wins it out of the sky. Chris, not Ben, that is. Great touch by Thomas Guthrie. Didn't see Wicks enough too quickly on the turn. Appiah gave it away. Alex Murrell's been a rock in the midfield. Hamilton needs to make the run. No, he's got the foot not facing towards where he was running, and Appiah had the step on him, it meant. Whose ball, though? Big call, this one. All right, Polinsky's going to get another chance to lump this in, you'd imagine. No, he leaves it for Saldana. No set piece opportunity here. Sam Ali, play was the call, play was the decision made. Polinsky forward. Either way, Chris Wicks doing well. With Guthrie running in behind, not necessarily known for his lightning top speed. Match it. Keating drops into that sort of 6 area and facilitates play. Polinsky can see runners going forward. Appiah, Ali, goal kick it'll be. The Hoss not happy with that one. Feels a bit unlucky in that moment there. As behind us, Scott Jackson wins another header out of the sky, and Ryan Dominici gets on the ball and squares it to Alessi. Comes forward towards Kyle Dominici this time, as Doonside are the ones doing most of the attacking in this second half. They know they have to respond. Well, guess who they'll be facing next week? The Yong. Bazina got the pivotal touch. Strong use of the body by Hambo Hamilton. Saldana being chased down by Wicks. Wicks is quicker, though. Saldana competing with Wicks and the touchline. Whose ball? Big call. Sent forward. Just over the halfway line. Doonside miss another chance. Behind us. Good strong aerial contest here. Now it's on the ground. It's an even better contest. Precious comes away with it and clips it out wide. He's oh so ambitious right back, who now runs inverted. Wins it back by hook or by crook. Pot shot by the number 8. Ryder claims it. Lovely pass to break through the midfield line, but it's picked up here by Danny Mack. I'd love to see him on the ball more because this is what he can do. He's picked a really good run there. Can Brandon Ford recover this one? Back he goes towards Chris Dalkeith. Can deliver a ball in. Guthrie over his head. Cleared away, Polinsky. As Doonside again goes so very, very close behind us. Big call from the throw-in here. Creek happy. Workers unhappy. Creek a little wry smile, knowing that one might have gone their way. Dangerous looking throw-in. Bazina should win that one back. Murrell being put under real pressure here, putting his body on the line. It's come away past Ford. Still Alex Murrell. What a great time it would be to get his second goal in just 7 appearances for the club. Matchett forward. Sent wide, not Matchett's best ball. We know what he's capable of. Dalkeith running into where Matchett isn't. Slide challenge has probably just saved their bacon. Beautiful by Liam Hamilton. He's back to full swing. Well, the goalkeeper's not going to come for that one. So Pius Baraji's ball it is. He has time to square up Jack Edwards. Gets past him. He looked to lump it towards goal. It didn't happen. Picks it up again. Does Hossam Ali. Murrell. Past one. Precious is down. Looks hurt. Back to his feet though. That's good. Nick Johnson now on the far side. Can deliver a good cross. What about the footwork to open up his body though? Back he goes towards Matchett. Can deliver a great ball. We know that. Is this his time now to deliver in? It's been blocked. Then one by Edwards. Then one by Matchett. Back it comes to the marauding fullback come centre back today. He sends it out wide with his right. Now into the middle is Liam Hamilton. It's been won by Jack Edwards. Appia steps in. It's pinball right now. Wicks defending on Saldana. And away it goes. Right, a Polinsky throw-in to come. It's a thing of beauty, but can somebody be as brave as he is usually in the box and get their head on this ball? Only Workers. Bazina. Murrell on the edge of the box. Retains position. What a great span of 5 minutes he's had. Murrell on the ball especially. Ooh, Ibby Sweden just went for a bicycle kick in the June side defensive 18-yard blocks through the legs of Wixie here. Back to the game in front of us. Hassan Ali with a bit of fortune, just shy of the 18-yard box. Palms his man off and says, "Sir, how?" Bazina. Matchett comes away with it. He's had a great last couple of minutes too, being closed down by Dalkeith, just too wide. Hamilton, now he's out of position, Matchett. Workers recognise the gap. No, they can't. Ooh. You could hear the collision of boots there and the yelp in desperation and pain of Alex Murrell. Doonside really knocking on the door of Pons behind us, but Pons are looking really good on the counter. It's been a really entertaining evening of football. No subs yet from either side. Some real quality on the bench of both, though. Chris Chum, you'd think, would be one of the first to come on. That ball's been lumped forward. If Hamilton can keep this in, there's a real chance at the near post corner. No goal kick. That ball was palmed by Benny. after it went out, I should say. Brendan Ford, so often a match of the round goal scorer, a grand final winning goal scorer. He loves the big occasion. Will he come up with a left-footed moment tonight once again? It was the inside, his instep that equalised it in first grade. Come the reserve grade grand final, it was the outside of his left that won it on the biggest of stages. Well, the second biggest of stages, if you like. Here is Chris Dalkeith. Tantalising, teasing ball in. Tom Guthrie! Over. Never really looked like going in. Couldn't get his body, his knee over the ball. Stoppage in play. Just a goal kick for Ryder to take. This is a time in the season, a time in the game where fatigue starts to really set in for those who have had long and arduous campaigns. This man here is one of them for sure. Can he get around the outside of Appio? It would be a real impressive feat if he could. There's a chance here for Pons to make it 2-0 and almost secure themselves. Oh, a penalty, absolutely. Pons have won a penalty and a chance to go 2 up. Oh, Fardad Sanjakani is brilliant, and he's about to have a chance probably to take this penalty and score a 26th goal of the BDSFA Premier League campaign.
You're good to go.
The question is, who's going to take it? They're all fighting for the ball right now. Back to the game in front of us, because Liam Hamilton is capable in the match of the round. We know, across the face of goal, the All-Star. One-time capped, one-time goal scorer, 2 in that game, you might remember. Assisted by Byron Grandemage, if you can cast your mind all the way back. Pretty poor challenge by Precious. He missed it and his studs were raised. Cedric Hatley-Bond just past the halfway line finds Liam Hamilton. The jovial joker, is he capable of some mischief in the box? Here is Pius Baragi, wants a brilliant brace. It's been cleared away. They're impressed with Hamilton's work though. Now, as there's a bit of a break in play in the game in front of us, to look behind us to Fardad Sanjakani up against Matt Dudgeon. To book a date with the winner of the game being live streamed in front of us. Perhaps. It is Fardad Sanjakani. He's buried in the bottom left-hand corner. Pons are 2 to the good. And tonight they are too good. Right, full focus back here. It'll be a corner. No, an offside flag was raised in the process. It won't count. Doonside have not looked at the races today, from the little snippets I've seen. The flick, wedged pass, wedged a little too wrong. And the angle was off. Possession changes hands, or should we say feet. You might remember it was Pons who beat Doonside 2-1. Thanks to a brilliant Rivaldo performance when he was in the black and gold colours before Doonside went on to win the 2022 Grand Final. So don't count Doonside out. You know it, I know it, and they know it too. Luckily for them, today is not going to be their final day, no matter the result. Oh, lovely work by Bazzina. As forward comes Dalkeith. He's had a really impressive game. I think Hossam Ali is trying anything he can to slow him down. It's Chris Dalkeith to find the goal that puts them in front. It's not going to trouble Brad Ryder, but he's had a really awe-inspiring game so far, hasn't he? So a second half of half chances. Who's going to be the man to make the decisive difference. I feel like this is a one-goal game. But honestly, things change so quickly in this league. And especially with these two teams, that I wouldn't be surprised if we get one or two more. Like an example of this. Was it enough to warrant a spot kick? It's been given! Liam Hamilton has won a spot kick. 10 minutes ago, he couldn't walk, and now he might just walk them into the next round of the finals, thanks to his brilliant dribbling work. In fact, it might have been Saldana that did the hard work. What was he doing all the way up there? Workers doing everything they can to protest the decision. The decision's been made. It would be very unlikely, although on this pitch anything can go against Eastern Creek. Surely not. They are going to contest it. It's going to achieve nothing. Finlay stays firm. Points to the spot once again to remind the masses. No, it was in fact Josh Saldana who went down. Appiah went in too hard with the shoulder charge. There's going to be a yellow card given here to Danny Mack. Now don't worry about what that will mean for future games. Everything resets once you get to the finals. A yellow card now given to Tom Guthrie. They need to be really careful here, workers, or their night is going to go from on the cusp of being over to almost being completely done if they go down to 10. Well, penalties have been so cruel to Blacktown workers in the last 24 months of football, and especially to Ben Dalkeith. Kane Finlay now speaking to Darren Graham, the coach of workers, letting him know exactly what he thinks is the workers' man. Two of his players have just been yellowed, and the words that have been used to describe what they think of the situation also wasn't too kind. They need to be very careful. Kurt Matchett scored in the penalty shootout when these two teams faced last year. Will it be the ultimate 0-to-hero moment for Benny Dalkeith? Oh, he saved it! Benjamin Dalkeith has just made the most important save of his 23 years. Ball goes out. What a moment! He's just been punched in the face by his own brother, but he won't feel it till tomorrow. His big left paw has just saved.
Alex, keep going, come on.
Saved them when they needed it most. Now workers look to respond. Matchett missed. Dalkeith delight. Oh, it's like the ultimate comeuppance for the brilliant man between the sticks. A hero's round of applause. Well, it's like the ultimate clash of bad luck. It's the unlucky field for Eastern Creek. It's the unlucky action in football, the penalty for workers. And two unstoppable forces met, and Dalkeith came away the victor. It's like clockwork, it's like poetry. It's like a script. Oh, what a save. He read it the entire way. He knew exactly where Matchett was going. He stepped before the ball was even kicked. And after all the hesitation, and after all the dismay and the confusion and the disdain, we're still deadlocked at 1-1. Ball right on the edge of the box as Pons and Doonside also ask their questions of the referee. I don't know what to watch anymore. This is absolutely torturous. The neutral must be so happy. Here's Saldana. Oh, Precious tried to knock him off his feet. Saldana's been brilliant in the last 5 minutes. wants to win another penalty, goes to the byline, crosses it. Oh, Precious was there to recover it and clear it. Oh, it's all happening here. There's a winner coming soon, but for whom? Oh, I can barely watch. Well, Matchett needs to pick himself up and deliver in another great ball into the box. A reminder, 8 corner assists in the 2022 campaign, a campaign in which they were promoted from second. Can he do it again? Wind back the clock. Ball was way too short, unfortunately. Liam Hamilton there. This is coming towards us here on the scissor lift. Touch of the sky by the Silver Fox. Polinsky's about to launch this into space. Appiah competing there with the number 43, the most recent goal scorer in the game. Around an hour ago now. It's gone quiet in the Pons v Dooney game because there's been a 5-minute delay due to Ibi Swedan's injury, but he's back up, which is a great sign. Can match it, not just right the wrongs of that poor corner a couple of moments ago, but right the wrongs of that unfortunate penalty miss. It wasn't a bad penalty, perhaps under hit if you're a cynic. Ball in towards the back stick this time. This will test Ben Dalkeith. It went over, it wasn't touched over, it'll just be a goal kick. As Doonside behind us look to respond. They're 2 goals down, mind you. Very rarely do Doonside be kept 2 weeks in a row to 0 goals scored. There is no Ethan Eichen on the pitch anymore. He's gone off with a couple of injury concerns as he tries to force his way back into the first team after a couple of weeks out. Tough life. Still, no subs have been made by either side yet here. Turn by Bazina has space. Well done there by Nick Johnson. Did really well. That looks... Oh, and Eastern Creek are the ones who have considered the free kick. That looks like the Salah and Ramos 2018 Champions League final coming together there, the way they tussled and fell and had arms conjoined. Thankfully everyone's okay, but I think Nick Johnson's pulled up lame with a cramp. Luckily, fullback is one of the most interchangeable positions on the pitch as Toonside and Kane go close and their crowd ooh and boo. That's not going to change the fate of the ball in the back of the net. They're having a bit of a love-hate, mainly hate relationship in the last 2 weeks for Doonside, unfortunately. Ball delivered in by Dalkeith. Matchett was there to stand in the way. It missed the referee. Danny Mack, who's cautioned now, by the way, for dissent to the referee. Jack Edwards has had a better second half than he did the first, at least in his defensive duties. Lovely fed through ball towards Chris Wicks. Across the face of goal! What a clearance. Polinsky. Ball still in play though. Then they get the defensive line up-stepping quickly. Cleared there by Zedric Catley-Bond. To the edge of the box is Precious. Doonside had missed another clear-cut opportunity to the game behind us. Ford asking a bit here of Appiah. He loses his momentum a little bit. Steps on the ball and almost loses his ACL. Ball back in play though. There is Blake Ford. Crossfield switch towards Jack Edwards. These two have been okay tonight together, you know. Forward goes Dalkeith. Past his man, who looks fatigued. Delivered in Dalkeith, who has 3 lungs. Hamilton. Past 1, past 2. Is he finally going to get a bit of Appiah this time? He's running hard. Appiah has been beaten again. Is he going to cut back or hit the byline like Saldana did? Appiah has to be careful. Whose ball? Big call, corner. Great work by both players. Matchett's going to come across. Not in too much of a hurry. I think we're destined for extra time in this game. Not too good if you've got plans and dinner dates after this. Matchett, can he be the one to change it? Oh, they went for the audacious. Was there a high foot? Absolutely. Dalkeith not happy. Choice of expletives were very French. Looks like Eastern Creek are going to be the first ones to go to their bench, it seems. Workers are really trusting the 11 out there that started the game. Nick Johnson's missed that one. Perhaps that's the lame hamstring that's just caught up to him in that moment there. Dunside missed another chance, pulled wide. They're kind of half chances that they're having lately, though. Dunside's finding it really hard to get past this Pons pressure-cooked defence. It is tight. Oh, lovely work. Oh, Ford missed the pivotal touch, though. It's been a day dominated by defenders, you'd have to say. Pius Baraji with a great press. Lovely stuff. Danny Mack. Space now to facilitate. He'll find Chris Dalkeith. He's had such a positive game. The ball wasn't his best. A drop kick this time out of the hands towards Hamilton. Well, his flick on was haphazard, but it's actually worked out. If not for Blake Ford stepping in strong, finds his older brother, given away by the older brother. There is Keating, taken away from him by Precious. And now Keating's gone down. Not under any duress. I think it's under a bit of cramp himself in the right hamstring this time. In both, he's stretching now. As we look behind us, it's Doonside who just look a little bit toothless up front. Pons are happy to sit in with their 2-goal lead. They know what they're doing next week. They're versing the winner of this game here. Long throw in again. Keating got something on it towards goal. Picked up here by the man of the match so far. Benny Dalkeith sends it away. Consistently 70-odd yards on that punt out of his hands. Murrell been a bit overdone in the last couple of minutes by this Workers midfield, which is ticking nicely along. It's just a moment here for Blacktown Workers. Tom Guthrie thought about the first time shot. He wriggles away from one, but not away from Zedja Catley-Bond. Ooh, space here. Hamilton's now offside. Now he's going to play him. His momentum was all wrong. Missed opportunity there. Not on the same wavelength. Probably a hint of fatigue. Appia. Now he's got space to run into. Goes back, though. Precious. Keating looks sore out in the middle of the park, right on the edge of the semicircle. Matchett stepped in. Okay, now here is Saldana, who won that penalty, of course. Doonside have scored. Doonside have scored. It's Maury Konate. And it's back on here at Hanna Reserve. 2-1 it is still to Pons, who've looked a little bit like they're resting on their 2-goal laurel. Now they're going to have to switch back into gear. Doonside are coming. Oh, and Chris Dalkeith finds that trickles away from him. They're running out of time, though, Doonside. They need to respond quickly. Creek want to make a sub. It's going to be Eamon Zekaut, the former Quaker, and prior to that, the former Doonside boy himself, who in the Grand Final automatic qualifier of 2022 got an assist to Ethan Eichen off of a brilliant clip into the box with his right boot. Can he be the one whose technical proficiency, can he be the one who settles down this game and finds a decisive moment? Keating has been brilliant all season, has been brilliant tonight, but he feels the pinch of a long season. A first sub for the Creek. The first sub of the game. It's nearly 7:30. 2-1 Pond's way. Dooney's just scored 1-1 it is here between these two teams with a penalty missed by Eastern Creek. Oh, what a great challenge between both of those players. So brave. Here's the Celts' first touch. Lovely work by Saldana, who's had a brilliant second half himself too. Has he got the lungs to get forward? Danny Mack defending. Ball for workers here. Now Jaden Zwerb for Doonside's almost playing like a right winger that's all guns blazing. Eastern Creek are going to make back-to-back substitutions here. It's Hayden Robinson in the 11 jersey who's going to come on. Nick Johnson's had a brilliant game. Like much of those out there, he has worked his absolute socks off. Robinson, that bleach blonde hair, impossible to miss. What's his role today? Saldana comes as the left back. The ball's actually in play here. Goal kick it'll be. It's so funny because both of these two teams know that they don't want to go to penalties, which no one ever does. But it's going to be, it needs to be one. So it's like every time that there's a dead ball, both of the players are not hesitant to go and get the ball, but there's no real rush either because they're both so fatigued, these sets of players. There's another moment of a bit of a mental snap there. Oh, as Pons almost restored their 2-goal cushion. It was oh so close. Hayden Robertson, his first throw-in since coming on. He'll play as a right back. He's quite quick. Here's Hayden. Gives it away though, or just about. Picked up here by Alex Murrell. Takes a pot shot. Handball. Given. And so now they can take a pot shot from slightly closer than Murrell had it from. Scotty Jackson sends it into the night sky for Pons as Creek give away the ball through Zakout and just give away a goal kick. Sammy De Oliveira's gone down, clutching at either the left side of glute or hamstring, something in between. That's a real concern for the number 10 of Pons. One by Murrell in the sky, picked out there by Brandon Ford. Dal Keith, another shout for the player of the match. McDougall finds Appia. Zakout chases him down, should be fresh-legged. Eamon he didn't play any sort of reserve grade game prior to this, which Eastern Creek won over Quakers Hill Tigers, by the way, what feels like a throwback. Dal Keith, is this his best ball in so far? Well, it seemed it. Because it was Danny Mack who got forward. Such a technically proficient player who's also quite tall. Big Danny Mack. Yeah, real concern here for the left higher hamstring of Samuel De Oliveira. And away he clears Ryder. Rising highest there was Murrell. Is there a chance here up against Ford? Bazina. Murrell was in strong. It's amazing how, by his own admission, he hadn't played as much as he wanted to back in the NPL sphere, and he's been just fit enough to walk right into a high-intensity league like the Blacktown Premier League. Ooh, Liam Hamilton wanted to play facilitator. Perhaps the chance to win it. No, didn't really get enough behind it. And Pius Baragi. Hamilton urged to hit it there next time rather than just passing it off. Ford finds Guthrie, who opened the scoring what feels like a century ago. Bazina was battered into. Saldana has to be careful. He's cautioned. Saldana goes down. Something's cramped up for him too. Like Keating, like Nick Johnson. Those two have both come off. Is Saldana the next culprit of the cramp? Brilliant Appia, who we know is good going forward. Oh, still James Appia. Just hit it, son. And he wins a set piece. And it's really close to goal. This is a very important moment for Eastern Creek, who know that if they concede here, it's probably curtains for the season. Not a lot of time left to go. So Tom Guthrie, who I've said multiple times, scored a free kick on 2 occasions in the one game for Ponds against Quakers Hill Juniors some 15 months ago. Now has an opportunity in the biggest game of his workers' career to date to have a pot shot at goal from about 22 yards from it. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man wall, which Ryder is setting up right now. Behind us as Duneside try and find an equaliser. Jaden Zwerb playing as a striker. He flicks it towards Konate. It's bouncing anywhere and anywhere. Is that Jaden Zwerb that has a chance to equalise? An offside flag has been raised. Oh my word, it's happening. It's all happening. Dalkeith scored 3 free kicks in his last season for Ponds. So who's it going to be? Which former Ponds player is it going to be that takes it here for Workers? It is Tom Guthrie, and it is into the hands of Ryder.
Get him up, wait.
It was on target, but it was a missed opportunity. Saldana's back to his feet, by the way. He looks run rugged. Danny Mack wins that out of the sky. Just going back to the brilliant work of James Appiah, by the way, to win that set piece. He beat 3 players in the process. That's why he's so commonly played as a winger or as a striker. Here he is, the number 24, Appiah. In his second season for the club, gives it away. Zach Couch was strong in the challenge. There is Liam Hamilton. Which option does he want to choose? He chooses the quickest one. Poor pass to find Zach Couch. Square. Lachlan Precious, a Workers brewing a semi-final potion here. Dalkeith overlapping. Infield run by Brandon Ford. Just looked like it was going to happen. And we're going to extra time. Oh, we are going to extra time again between these two teams. It is tight and it is tense. But the 2 goals that were scored in the first half remain the only 2 goals of the game. Oh my word. So we have a short break, a chance for some water to enter the system, some breaths to be captured, a chance for some massages to be had and for cramps to be pickle juiced, a chance to watch the game behind us for a moment, which is about to see Ponds emerge as victorious and Duneside facing their old adversaries and their eternal rivals Marion in a sudden death match of the round next week. In fact, you know what? I might just bring this coverage for you now. This game should be over in just a matter of moments. It was a game that was opened by Tom Guthrie. It almost could have been ended there by Tom Guthrie. The response by Pius Baraji. Those 2 strikers have been so good for their teams this year. Ooh, it was almost spilt by Avdicevic, and Zwerb was thinking about it. So confirmation, it is like 2023. It is 10 minutes either way, no golden goal. And then we'll go to pens if necessary. So it's not 120 minutes like you might usually see in the full professional form of football. It is 110 minutes total. 10 minutes either side of extra time. And I repeat, no golden goal. As Ponds look to make it 3-1, Fardod Sanjikani misses by his standards. A pretty easy shot. 110 minutes total to be played. 10 minutes either side of the extra time whistle. No golden goal. Oh my gosh, there's a chance for Duneside to equalise late. Ball across the face of goal. Jaden Zwerb leaves it. Strike a goal. It's Jaden Zwerb for Duneside. Oh my word. Duneside have just clawed it back in what might have been the final kick. of their game. Oh, my word. It is all happening at Hanna Reserve. Never, ever count them out. His second goal in 4 years is probably the most memorable one he's ever scored. Unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. They have been backs against the wall for 80 minutes. And in a moment of madness, or two, it's back 2-2-2. Oh, we've got to take our eyes off one of these games at some point. Is there a chance for Doonside to find a winner? It's tactic-less football. It's hit and hope. It's kill or be killed. Pon's going to find their own response. Alex Kwok now runs forward. Wide, he sends it to Blake Skur. Blake Skur with a chance to put a good ball in. He knows what it's like to score in these finals games. Blake Skur. Alex Kwok's going to win it. No, it's been blocked. Oh, they have a penalty. Pons have another penalty. What on earth is going on? Oh, this is the most unbelievable set of football games I think I've ever witnessed. Turn the camera around. The decision's been made. Jason McManus stands off field and awaits Fardod Sanjakani. And if he is to get his 27th goal of the year, will send Pons into a match against the winner of 4v5, which is about to start. Well, this game's about to start. This game that we are streaming is about to start. Back up again. Extra time's about to be upon us. Doonside can argue all they like. McManus is not going to change his mind. This is going to cause mayhem in the Eternal Derby. Oh my gosh. They were 2-0 up 10 minutes ago. It was 2-2 10 seconds ago. And Pons are going to go back in front maybe from the spot. We're back in play in Eastern Creek versus Workers. But all eyes are on the penalty spot behind us unless something changes in front of us. Hossam Ali and Jack Edwards. Pius Baraji now competing for it. Here it is, the penalty. Fardod Sanjakani goes to the same corner and sends Pons into a game versus the winner of 4v5. In the most unbelievable of last 10 minutes you're ever likely to see. Ball into the box, flick towards goal. Ben Dalkeith has saved it. Oh. Well, he's just made another brilliant save. And I've just realised that both these two teams didn't switch around at the end of the full-time whistle. Not to worry, though. Oh, someone call a doctor. Can your heart keep up? Ball in by Mature. Really good ball, cleared away. Blake Ford. Corners from consecutive instances. But corners from different sides of the pitch. This time it's Eamon Zakow's in swinger to come in. About 15 players have been yellow carded from both sides for Pons and Doonside behind us. That's to the surprise of no one. They're about to have to go from kickoff and find some sort of Hail Mary equaliser. Eastern Creek are about to deliver a ball in and potentially put themselves in front for the first time in this game. Zakow's ball towards the front post, just a bit under hit there. Now he competes for it with Danny Mack. Really well done. I think Pons have survived the kickoff scare. There's still time. That game goes on behind us. Oh, what is going on? This is unbelievable stuff. Centered pass. Pons survive another scare. Dalkeith has it back here for Blacktown Workers. Blake Ford sends it wide. James Appiah. Danny Mack, great touch to get it out of his feet. Delivers it pie in the sky, unfortunately.
Get up.
Poor ball.
First a second, Jimmy.
Look how quick Pius Baraji is up into the technical area. Get a touch on a cameraman. He almost did. So it's the end of the night for Chris Wicks. It's a reintroduction to the pitch for the second time today for Ryan Fitzgerald. Can the policeman lay down the law? He scored in the penalty shootout between these two last time. Are we headed for a repeat of fate, of destiny? Still, the Ponds and Doonside game goes on. Still, Danny Mack continues to run for Workers. Good sliding challenge there by Zakouts, completely legal. Great feet there, Osama Ali. It's a foot race. Baraji full of running. Appy has been floored there. That's a big, bruising, winding challenge. Well, while there's a break in play, Doonside still trying to come forward. We're into extra time. They're still in normal time of the 90. That's how much time has been added on. It's Nick Couchy on the edge of the box. Nick Couchy's going to try and pot it towards goal. Avdicevic with the save. Might that be the final chance? Appiah is now the one stretching out his hamstrings and getting wind back into his lungs. They just escaped him in a flash there with that challenge with Pius Baraji. Still, McManus keeps the game going on. Who would want this to end? Josh Atkins wins it out of the sky. And a slip sees the ball go out. What a day of football this is turning out to be. We're back in play. We're about to be here between Workers and Creek in what has given us pretty much every scenario you could possibly imagine in football. A goal, a response, a missed penalty. Is there a chance to win it? Match it with the sliding challenge. And then he slips with a cruel bounce. Struck towards goal. It's ended up being more of a cross instead of a shot. Hayden Robinson dueling with the other subbed on, Fitzgerald. Chris Chum's about to come on for Workers. That's a big decision to make. He's full of running, that kid. Great defensive determination there by Alex Murrell. Ponds have secured victory 3-2 against Doonside. So Ponds will go on to face the winner of the Eastern Creek and Workers game in front of you. Doonside confirmed will take on the team that they haven't beat now in 2 years and 5 attempts in Marion. Lachlan Precious, ball in, hard to control initially, flick towards goal anywhere, will do Dal Keith competing for it. Brad Ryder comes away with it. Another monster kick out of the hands, this time though by Brad Ryder. Whose ball, big call. They're going to make a sub. Looks like the communication devices aren't on. Player goes on. Osama Ali. Murrell just clears it because he knew he was being hounded on. Chris Chum to come on soon. Ooh, Dale Keith has sent that up rather than out. Can Appiah compete for this one with Murrell? Murrell's used all of his experience and challenging for that there against the 22-year-old. Lovely pass there to find Hayden Robinson. In fact, it's been given to Liam Hamilton. Robinson's full of running. He's been covered by his right winger. Down he goes. Challenge was fair. Blake Ford now leaves it for Danny Mack. This is Lockie Precious. Chris Dalkeith. Murrell missed that one pretty badly. Both players have gone down there. Him and Danny Mack. Oh, in fact, it's Lockie Precious. One there by Saldana.
Hey, put it in, Danny.
Baraji. This game has lacked the decisive final touch. But unlike last week between Doonside and Marion, it's been a wickedly entertaining night. So Chum comes on, Appiah, battered and bruised, makes way. Chum, a natural left back. And a left footer too, can really hit a football as well, the kid. Cleared away by Ryan Fitzgerald, and then from distance, Murrell. I think it took a little hint off of Brendan Bazina. You're about to hear the Ponds war cry of victory now. Osam Ali competing with Bazina. Murrell turns, wins a free kick. Quickest blow of the whistle of the night, and it's a yellow card for Brendan Bazina actually. On the X Factor, back in play by Baraji into the hands of a very grateful goalkeeper. We are teetering on the end of the first half of extra time. And sent away by Benny Dalkeith. And now that the songs have stopped being sung and those who are feeling sorry for themselves stop feeling sorry, all heads turn towards here because one of these two teams could very well be the next opponents. For Ponds, well, one of them they will be, and one of them could very well be the next opponents should they make their way all through to the grand final. So all eyes are on this. And my word, there are a lot of eyes to enjoy this one. It's going to be a wild ride into the final whistle. What a set of football matches we've seen tonight. What a set of football matches we've seen tonight. Eamon Zakout. Is there a winner in the first half of extra time to come? No golden goal, I remind you. We're only going to go to 10 minutes of extra time, not 15. Contested ball in the sky. Robinson and Pius Baraji were there. And that's the end of the first half of extra time. No goals to write home about since the first half of normal time. No real chances to write home about except for that first 30 seconds where Dalkeith had to make a sharp save at his near post. Other than that, I think this game is angling ever so more commonly and more likely with every passing second towards another historic penalty shootout. I know Workers do not want it to go to that. I'm sure Creek don't either. One of these two teams will have to back themselves more than the other, and that will probably be the team that ends with their names still potentially on the trophy come the end of the season, the Graham Whitehouse Memorial Shield. So there won't be much of time in between these two games. In between these two halves, I should say. There should just be a sip of water and a changeover. There should be no time for tactical discussions unless the referees want to take some time on their own. Workers are doing some question asking of their own here. A reminder that they had a penalty to win, or would have been the winner of the match, it seems. Are there going to be any final substitutions perhaps for players who are confident from the spot? Maybe we'll see Taylor Redden, maybe we'll see Ian John DeCastro. Maybe Ronak Ram preferred as the goalkeeper in net, probably not, after Ben Dalkeith's fantastic save tonight. They practiced penalties for the first time under the tutelage of their coaches, whether it was the Riverstone or the Workers days this week, and Benny Dalkeith came up with a big penalty save. We're 10 minutes from penalties, or are we within 10 minutes of the end of the game? Is there to be a winner? Is there to be a victor before we head to the dreaded spot kick? It's tight, it's tense, it's unbearable, it's brilliant. It's painful, it's joyous. There could be rejoice, and there might just be tears. 10 minutes, 10 grueling minutes, physically, mentally, and emotionally, for all involved. There are so many eyes on this game now. One of these two teams will be facing one of the teams behind us, watching along now like hawks. Brandon Ford. Precious left it. Sliding in challenge was moral. If he'd have connected, it would have been a red card. Luckily, we're all square here. Bazina does well to get it out of his feet, but then gave it away. Zakout did well to divvy away from his man. Puts him under a little bit of pressure. Spud Polinsky, and he's been forced to clear it.
Try and play forward.
Chris Dalkeith. Guthrie, who opened the scoring. Like I said, what feels like a long time ago. What even feels like a longer time ago now. Drop punt out of the hands of Brad Ryder. Dalkeith is there. Saldana has run 1,000,000 kilometres this afternoon and evening. Zakout's come away with it. Up against Jack Edwards. Edwards did really well to stand up his man. Dropped a couple of degrees on the last moments or two. It's getting colder. The players are going to feel that pinch pretty soon if they aren't already.
I've got high hands, mate. I'm high.
Long throw-in, flicked away from goal by Workers. On the edge of the 30-yard mark. Ooh, Guthrie, great touch. It's a foot race. Saldana slid in. I think he's pulled every muscle in his legs. His night is done. He says he gestures towards the bench. I think that's Benny Watson getting ready. He's down. He's kept everyone on side. He's left Fitzy completely unmarked in the middle. Oh, Ryder has just saved the day. And it would have felt immoral too. But it doesn't matter in finals football. She's a lucky escape there. What a save. Both keepers have just had, in these last hour or so, moments that they'll look back on forever and remember as pivotal moments for their team where they showed extreme bravery. There's a player down in the Workers box receiving a hamstring cramp stretch now. Saldana is down. He's gestured towards the bench. He's heading towards the bench. This is Ben Watson coming on. We know exactly what he's all about. When he's not scoring a poker and grabbing an assist in a grand final, he's falling off a motorbike and almost getting rid of his thumb. He's a man of extremes, and is he going to come up with an extreme moment tonight? On comes Benny Watson, who hasn't found a goal since the promotion to PL1 in the first grade space. But he is oh so capable and still a very young man. And he's full of running. Is he full of confidence tonight? He's been slowly keeping warm on the bench. And when Saldana made that gesture, he knew it was his time. So he's going to be tasked at right wing back as Ryder clears that away. And Dalkeith wins it out of the sky for the umpteenth time. One and push forward by Blake Ford. Tom Guthrie. Ooh, I like the idea. Zedric Catley Bond sends it out wide to Benny Watson. That's his first touch. A sliding challenge there by Christopher Chum. Christopher 1 and Christopher 2 at left and right back for Workers now. Not a single person has left from the game happening adjacent to us. They're all watching along here. Precious goes down. Foul given. And just like that, we're already halfway there to penalties. We are not far away at all. Chum, who's got fresh legs and will be tasked with taking a pen, because I was at the workers' training session midway through the week to film the podcast, and he didn't miss one, and he scored them all emphatically. Look at the show of pace. Free kick given on the edge of the box, on the side of the box, and a yellow card probably to be distributed out here to Zedric Catley-Bond. Great hard running. I think it was by Brandon Ford. No, it wasn't. It was... might have been Tom Guthrie even. Running the channels is not really his forte, but he did it really well there.
Come on! No. Yeah, you get in. Oh, no. Sorry.
With minutes to go. This was the exact end of the pitch where Eastern Creek's season came to a close. Almost from this exact angle too. A worker's going to steal a similar sort of fate for them. Ball put in. It's been cleared upwards and cleared off the knee. And then under control via the chest of Pius Baraji.
Win it, Danny!
Was not kept in. So throw-in it'll be for workers all the way back up the pitch.
Get the shape set!
It's nail-biting time for both sets of coaches, for both sets of players. I can see Shane Prasad below me. Wouldn't he love to be involved right now? Throw-in taken. Sent away by Matchett. If the game doesn't go his way today, it'll be a really mentally difficult one for him. But he is strong, great character. Dangerous ball in. It's more looped than flat. On the edge of the box is Tom Guthrie! Oh my word, what a save. Brad Ryder with 2 big saves in the second half of extra time has kept Eastern Creek in it as they trudge slowly towards penalties. I can almost promise you that that's where we're heading now. A long throw in, a Hail Mary. It's been cleared away again. Jack Edwards tries it. They tried to steer it towards goal too. A look at the watch by Kane Finlay. It was missed by Dalkeith. Baraji's quick. Dalkeith was brave, stood his ground. McDougall recycles possession. Forward finds Chum, crosses the halfway line. Zakout closing him down, pushed out wide. Loose touch. Throw in for Eastern Creek. What kind of guile do Eastern Creek have to show now? They look out on their feet. Liam Hamilton is in the middle of the park, looking like a power walker at the end of an Olympic event. It's like he's trying to walk on Heelys. Poor guy can barely move around. Mind you, here's Dalkeith strutting his stuff still. Another look at the watch by the referee. Brendan Ford loves a big moment, and especially against this club. Fed forward pass towards Bazina. Square pass back towards their 60th serve, and it was given away by Brandon. Hamilton can literally barely move. He's just lumped it forward. He cannot move. He's down. His hamstring is in all kinds of pain. They're going to bring on Joe Dunn to take a penalty. He scored one against Workers when they met last year. Captain material. Ref is called. Hamilton's going to need about 13 bottles of pickle juice tonight. Dalkeith helping him out. He knows exactly what it feels like. He's a PT himself. Hamilton, brave. So on comes Joe Dunn. 2 match of the round assists last season. Back into first grade tonight, and he is going to be tasked probably with one job. On comes Taylon Redden as well for Blacktown Workers. Tasked probably as well with taking a penalty. Or is he going to be the lump in the box that they'll put it into right now? He's free. He's unmarked. Can they get the ball high enough to him? Ryder. Saved.
Get up.
Another look at the watch by the referee. Looks like he might even be cramping up too soon. Absolutely no Eastern Creek player putting any pressure on this. It's been left by Mitch Hinton. The Hinton duopoly know exactly what is coming. It's time to settle heads and think about the charismatic yet calming speech that's going to help them settle the nerves before penalties. We are probably headed there. Is there time for a change? Workers are the ones who want to win it. Eastern Creek send it forward. If Pius can run on his own, he could do it on his own, but the ball didn't find his feet. Workers have a chance to win it. This might be their last roll of the dice before we head to spot kicks, though. Bazina. McDougall looks to spread it. Here's this near side. Will there be an even more dramatic moment here? Hayden Robinson closes down Dalkeith. Taylor Redden's first touch. Does he win a corner? He does. Who's to take? Redden places it on the spot. He's taken ownership of the situation himself. Redden to deliver in towards the front post. It's cleared away by Hayden Robinson. It's Danny McDougall. Didn't get enough behind it. Here's Chris Chum. It's not on his left peg yet.
Win it, Chummy! Win it!
Chum closing down. Chum winning it back. Chum put forward. There's space. Oh, there's a free man in the middle. The ball had to be played first time. He didn't see him. Full time. An array of players collapse to the floor. We're going to penalties again. We should have just started the day with penalties. It is a forthright of these two teams that we were just going to head here. What a surprise, said no one. And so here we are again. At a ground which has given us so many wonderful footballing moments over the years. Hanna Reserve about to be the home of another historic match of the round, penalty shootouts. But the question becomes who takes it? Who will step up? One change from last year, almost assuredly Tom Guthrie for Workers. Couple of new faces for Eastern Creek. Oh, man. I have never seen Brad Ryder face a penalty before. I have no idea what his pedigree is. Well, we know exactly what Benny Dalkeith is all about, though. The man of the night. Pons with their notepads out. Mariong and Dooney, the same sort of vibe on their end, although a lot of the Dooney boys have headed towards the tunnels. They seem really disheartened, and understandably so. Discussions between referees, discussion between Creek players, discussions between Workers players. Darren Graham is shaking his head up at me right now, and he knows exactly what's coming. Drama, drama, drama. Is it third time's a charm for the Blacktown Workers? Is it a history repeating occurrence for Eastern Creek? Which end are we going to kick down as well? The better goal mouth and the better penalty spot, I think, is to your right-hand side. When they went out to Workers in the penalty shootouts, it was down the right-hand side of the camera in 2022. And when they went out to Eastern Creek, it was down to the left. So it was a return to the right, going to form a rite of passage. Liam Hamilton is okay. The thumbs-up gesture, although he's probably in a world of hurt and probably wishes he could take a penalty, the All-Star. The Workers boys on the bench, including the coaching staff, in arms. Darren Glover, the fourth official, about to join them too in a moment of solidarity. So it's decided. It's going to be Eastern Creek, and of all people, Kurt Matchett to step up first. The bravery of this man is on another level. It's Matchett versus Dalkeith once again. From the same spot where he missed some 1 hour ago. Matchett to open the penalty shootout with a bang. He went the other way this time, and he called the bluff of the goalkeeper. And now, from one brilliant fullback to another. Dalkeith scored his last year. The ball's going to be given to Dalkeith by another Dalkeith. A slap on the face, a touch on the backside, a fist bump with both hands. The ultimate show of camaraderie as workers look to equal things from 11 yards. Brad Ryder, is he about to write himself into match of the round history? Dalkeith, a competent penalty taker, to level it at 1-1 after 1 each. Oh, he sends it into the top left-hand corner. That's a really lovely penalty. A clap or two even from the huddle of the Eastern Creek boys. Well, Joe Dunn has barely, I don't even think he actually got a touch of the football. Now, history, especially recent history, tells me that a sub on late to take a penalty without much of a touch on the ball is a recipe for disaster. But Joe Dunn knows no fear. He scored his last year as well. And the two scorers of last year have done their jobs again in 2024. It is Joe Dunn, who puts it to the left of Ben Dalkeith, to the right of himself, and puts them right back in front on the night. Now this is Blake Ford, who in Match of the Round games from open play has had 4 penalties in the 4 years of Match of the Round live streams. He's missed thrice. He's scored once. He scored when he went to the bottom left, the keeper's bottom right. This is an oh so important one. In practice in midweek, he did not put a foot wrong. So often relied upon, called upon right now. It is Blake Ford. That's a good penalty. Ryder will consider himself unlucky, but it was hit solid and hit true. And that will feel like a real moment of relief. So this is Zedric Catley-Bond. So number 61. We are at 2-2, 4 penalties taken, 4 scored. This is round 3. The centre back who re-signed just before it became July. Catley-Bond. Oh, he rolls it into the bottom corner. The keeper moved way too quickly there. And he gave him a whole side of the goal to aim at. This is Tom Guthrie walking to the spot now. He opened the scoring tonight. He was brilliant tonight, as he has been for the whole season, as goal number 11 was notched up. Receives the ball from his goalkeeper, who came to the rescue of workers in normal time today. Well, when he signed 6 months ago, I wonder if he pictured this moment in his mind. This is a massive penalty in the shootout. Ooh, fingertips to it, but it's found its way into the back of the net, and he must have skipped a beat. Now we go to round 4. It's 6 penalties scored from 6. Alex Murrell, the number 45, in his second match of the round game. Scored versus Dooney in the 2-2. His 7th game ever for Eastern Creek. And he's tasked with taking the 7th penalty in the shootout. Murrell puts it into the roof of the net. Something has gone wrong. Oh, what a horrendous moment for Alex Murrell. He's going to have to take it again. Well, this is unseen. This is unheard of. Oh, the pressure cooker moment. Ryder is asking the question from the side of the goal mouth. Oh, a stutter and a slip. Oh, he buries it again. A show of mental fortitude of the highest echelon. Brilliant stuff, Murrell. And you can trudge your way back after another great performance. It's Jack Edwards. Come on, Benny, eh? Round 4. The next round is sudden death. 7 penalties taken, 7 penalties scored. This the 8th. This would feel really good should it hit the back of the net after that first goal for Eastern Creek on the night. Down the middle. And without a fuss. Keeper committed to one side. And this is now sudden death. This is round 5 of the penalty shootout. It is Eamon Zakout. His former teammates watch along. His current teammates hope for the best. When you go first in a penalty shootout, you are 72% chance of winning. Eamon Zakout wants to keep that a stat in the favour of the first takers. It's his most important kick in that 50-year anniversary jersey, up against a monster like Dalkeith. Eamon Zakout. Oh, it's somehow gone in. It should not have gone in. A wry smile. Oh, that should have been Chris Chum with a chance to win it and Workers to feel alleviated after 2 years of hurt. And now this could very well be the last penalty on the night. It is sudden death. Chris Chum, as mentioned, did not put a foot wrong in practice all week. He has the ability to rip the net in half with his shots. Chris Chum against Brad Ryder. Dancing on his line. It is Chum, and that's a really, really well-placed penalty. And we go to round 6, and this now means that your name wasn't on the list. So, have you got the guile to put your hands up when your team needs you? On we go. 10 perfect penalties. Oh, maybe 9 and a bit of luck. Ben Dalkeith saved the penalty. Back in normal time. He went down to his left. It's now. Lee puts it into the bottom corner. You can barely catch a breath, and the tension is palpable. You can cut it with a knife. This is now Brendan Bazina, who won the Player of the Year award, joint with Blake Skerr back in 2022. Moved one of many from Riverston in the last couple of years. Brad Ryder yet to save a penalty today. Will the first of those not on the scorings list be the ones come undone? Brendan Bazina runs up to it. It's been saved! Eastern Creek prevail from the spot. History repeats itself. It's jubilation for those from Hanna Reserve. And it is heartbreak for those from Harold Labert. 3 is not the magic number for Workers. And it's the end of the season for the great Workers boys. Confirmation now. Eastern Creek will take on Ponds FC for a spot in the grand final next week. That will not be the live streamed game because we'll turn our attention to Mariong and Doonside. Brad Ryder saves to his top left and pours out a big one. But for Workers, oh, it just feels horrible. Even the neutral must feel bad for them, as again, for a 3rd successive season, a season comes to a close because of spot kicks. And each year they've gotten better. They were perfect 5 from 5. It was the 6 that didn't work out for them. And commiserations to Brendan Bazina, who had a phenomenal night with the ball at feet, and when he wasn't in possession, he was good too. No, it feels so cruel. Blacktown Workers, hold your heads high. Brendan Bazina, hold your head high. You've provided another season of enthralling entertainment. But do enjoy this Eastern Creek will take nothing away from you. You responded after seconds when you went down. You're going to enjoy this one long into the night, I'm sure, and then get yourselves back and ready for next Saturday, 5 p.m. Well, we're going to cut the stream there. It's been a long night. Congratulations to the victors tonight, Ponds, and to also Eastern Creek. And as we start to fade out this live stream, I'm sure you're about to hear the chant go off into the background, and we'll keep the surround sound on for you. My name is Mark DePoli. Thank you for sticking around during the delays. Thank you for being here until the end. And we'll see you for Marion and Junior for a spot in the grand final next week. Enjoy this.
We are the Eastern Boys!